got Dak not saying a word. CeeDee Lamb not saying a word. I know Trayvon Diggs is hurt. Yeah, Aiden Diggs, Trayvon's son, making more headlines than Trayvon Diggs these days. You've got, Stephon Gilmore, smart veteran, not going to say anything. Played for the Patriots back in the day, not going to say anything. Mike McCarthy's been quiet outside that press conference. Jerry has been, but come on, it's Jerry. It's what we've come to know and expect. Everybody's been quiet. And here's Micah Parsons at the Pro Bowl, which he made deservedly so, no question about it. But now there's no Pro Bowl game. Thank God. The game was unwatchable. At least it's flag football now. At least there's points. At least it's somewhat exciting, even though I didn't watch. But you have the Pro Bowl games. And at one point, some of the best players compete in a game of Madden. They've been doing this for years now. I think they've been doing it since at least 2020 when it was the COVID year, pandemic year. A lot of guys just played Madden against each other. And Micah Parsons it was NFC versus AFC. Micah Parsons, NFC player, obviously plays for the Cowboys. And he was facing Tyreek Hill, superstar receiver for the Dolphins, and David Njoku, tight end for the Cleveland Browns, who made the Pro Bowl on the AFC side. And take a listen. It's about a minute long. Take a listen to what Micah Parsons told David Njoku, and I'll have a strong reaction on this, but I'm going to do something after this that I've never done in my life in the history of Carving It Up Live. But watch this first. Micah Parsons, his exchange with Browns tight end David Njoku.
I thought he did amazing. He made great adjustments. He obviously showed why Cleveland is Cleveland. And
whoa. That's a crazy shot. That's a crazy shot.
Don't give us that political.
David, you have an opportunity for a rebuttal here. Obviously, that first half didn't go the way you wanted.
It's cool. It's cool.
Okay.
You gotta understand one thing, And excuse my voice, it's gone. When the losses come with big bosses. Mm-hmm. One thing you gotta understand is he said Cleveland to Cleveland, but we're both here. We're both playing this Madden game.
I think that's a shot.
You gotta make it make sense.
Any person who's reenacting Meek Mill lyrics is like, I can't take him serious.
But am I lying though?
No, you try to be lyrical, but don't
not
even get
lyrical. I'm saying we're both fitting.
Lyrically, I'm supposed to represent.
He has a good point, bro. We all here.
So what are you saying? Cleveland.
Okay, fair enough. Well, let's take it back to this game.
Okay, so Micah's quote, the one that made headlines, is he showed why Cleveland is Cleveland. And Cleveland's going to be Cleveland. I'm about to do something. It makes me sick to my stomach. I don't think I've ever done it in the 4.5-year history of my show. I'm going to defend Cleveland. That just makes my stomach churn. It just, hate it. But I'm going to defend Cleveland for a second. Micah Parsons does realize that the Cowboys have just as many conference title game appearances as the Browns since 1996, right? Does he know that? I don't know if Micah is a student of the game the way other players are. Does he know that? Hats off to David Njoku for sitting up there and saying, you could say Cleveland's going to be Cleveland. And by the way, David Njoku didn't hide from that. He's like, yeah, you know what? We had a nice season and flamed out in the playoffs and got blown out by Houston. Okay, we didn't go very far as we wanted to. But nice job for Njoku for acknowledging that and then turning around and saying, what'd you do, bruh? You do nothing. Yeah, you know what Micah Parsons did? And Micah Parsons had some quotes the other day. Maybe I'll detail this further. I've talked way too much about Micah. Every show, including mine, has. But Micah had the quote the other day where he's like, we need to get the right players in, or we need to get some players that'll help get us over the top. Acting like he was not the issue at all in the Cowboys playoff loss to Green Bay. You know what Micah Parsons did against the Packers? He had one more tackle than I did, and I was sitting on my couch watching the game. So David Njoku sitting up there saying, you know what? Yeah, you're right. We didn't do what we hoped to do. Yeah, Cleveland tends to be pretty darn unsuccessful in the playoffs. But you're sitting there acting like you did something special. You had one tackle in a 16-point playoff loss in a game that you were down by 1 million points at home against a team full of kids in Green Bay. Man, miss me with that. You're acting up here like you done something. The utter lack of self-awareness is unreal. At least Jerry from time to time would be like, I don't believe that we're where we need to be, but I tell you what, I think this team could get to the Super Bowl, but at least we're hanging around the rim. Jerry, at least compared to Micah, has somewhat realistic expectations. I mean, like Njoku said, like, we're here sitting on the couch at the Pro Bowl playing a video game. And by the way, Cleveland, listen, both Dallas and Cleveland got blown out, ironically, in Texas. Cleveland on a Saturday, Dallas on a Sunday. Both Cleveland and Dallas got blown out in the wild card round, okay? Their seasons ended identically. But the Browns, and it drives me crazy to defend Cleveland. Hate it. Oh my gosh, I cannot stand defending the Browns. However, you got to be objective. Cleveland, from an injury standpoint to their key players, had the season from hell. What did Clark Griswold say in Christmas Vacation? Look around yourself, Ellen. We're at the threshold of hell when the house is just blown to bits and the dogs have eaten everything and it's on the tree blows up and a cat dies, like all this stuff that happens. That's where the Browns were. Deshaun got hurt. Dorian Thompson-Robinson got hurt. P.J. Walker wasn't very good. Nick Chubb, second game of the year against my Steelers, Monday Night Football, blows out his knee and is gone for the year. Nick Chubb is the very reason, he's like the Browns' Christian McCaffrey. He's the reason that offense runs and is successful. So they signed Joe Flacco off his couch. Old man Joe comes in and is playing, the turnovers aside, like one of the best quarterbacks in the league, and the Browns make the playoffs and were road favorites over a team quarterbacked by C.J. Stroud. Yeah, they got blown out. Yes, I was overjoyed to see that. But by and large, this was not a disaster season for Cleveland. It could have been. But to the credit of the coaches, of the players, they didn't allow it to be. Now you have Dallas, who has lofty expectations, as is always the case, but especially this year. Hey, NFC's never been weaker. Hey, not only do we win the division, we get the 2 seed. Can't do much better than that other than San Francisco getting the old 1 seed. And we don't draw the Rams, who won a Super Bowl within the last half decade. We don't draw who was the 5? Philadelphia, they would have beaten Philadelphia, but Philadelphia did get to the Super Bowl last year for what it's worth. Here's who we draw. A team with a quarterback in his first year starting, the youngest playoff team in a half century. And we get the doors blown off them. And Micah Parsons has the audacity, I'm defending Cleveland, ladies and gentlemen, to sit up there and act like, yeah, I mean, you're here, we're Dallas, like and yeah, you're a little old Cleveland. Bro, you've been just as successful as Cleveland. Cute, you have a few more playoff wins, only one of which you were a part of in 2022. Didn't really do much in that game. That was all Dak against Tampa Bay, neither here nor there. Listen, we would all agree Micah Parsons is a better player, objectively better player at his position than Njoku is. But even still, Njoku is a very good tight end. Very good tight end. Micah Parsons, any given day, can be the best player on the field. He's that talented. Okay. Of course, David Njoku doesn't have an iconic moment in his career because he's not an iconic player. Neither is Micah, but people compared him to Lawrence Taylor. Not sure why. Name the iconic moment in Micah Parsons' career. Name it. It'd be different if Dallas made the Super Bowl last year, or if Dallas finally actually got to an NFC title game and lost a close one to the Niners again. You were the first team in the history, and I get the 7 seed has only existed for 4 years, so a little bit of context there. You're the first team in the history of the National Football League postseason to lose to a 7 seed. And you do so at home. At one point, you're down by 30, and you have 1 tackle. But you have the audacity days before that in your podcast to say, and why Micah Parsons is doing podcasts like he's Draymond Green. Draymond Green's one of the greatest basketball players of all time. Say what you want, Draymond Green's going to the Hall of Fame. Micah Parsons remains to be seen. Micah Parsons say, hey, we need the players. And don't blame me, blame the scheme. I just do what the coaches tell me to do. Man's acting like out there like he didn't play like a bum against Green Bay. Come on, man. Out here going after David Njoku. What did David Njoku do? Heck, what did Cleveland do? I don't know. Defending Cleveland makes me sick to my stomach. But listen, and I'd say the same thing if Dak Prescott said this. For the record, y'all know how I feel about Dak. Love Dak more than just about everybody. But you know why Dak wouldn't say this? Because Dak has self-awareness. CeeDee Lamb has self-awareness. Other players of the Cowboys have self-awareness. Micah Parsons has not an ounce of it. Jeez. I mean, what? Bro, what are you talking about? Oh, Lord. One day of the year, one day of my lifetime, I'm pro Cleveland. Unbelievable. Thanks so much for watching the show on YouTube, and be sure to go click that big red subscribe button and check out the other clips and full shows from Carving It Up Live, as well as our other incredible content creators here on the Grid Network.